I awoke, half slumped over in the hallway, with the female Earthling still passed out on the floor close by. I did my best not to disturb her as I stood and headed down the hall and into the cockpit. Rusty waited near the dashboard, his eyes a dull yellow. I apologize for dozing off. Rusty studied the controls. The ship's engines rose, but only for a moment, then fell silent.
We have reached our destination, sir.
I peered down the hall at the sleeping female Earthling. I suppose we should wait for her to wake. I wouldn't know the first thing about ordering new guns and windows. I crouched down and rubbed my legs in a failed attempt to lessen the pins and needles that lingered from sleeping awkwardly on the floor. Rusty remained near the controls, his eyes still a dull yellow. Maybe we should rendezvous with Arrakis for when the captain wakes up.
That is not possible, sir.
And why is that? Rusty's internal gears roared into action.
The planet Arrakis is 178.5 skips from our present location, sir.
Almost too nervous to ask, I turned toward Rusty. Rusty? Where are we? Again, Rusty's gears wobbled and clanged into motion.
Our present location is 5T14Y32.3R 81205.7, nearest the Ilmos asteroid cluster, sir.
My knees shook. My head felt light and dizzy. I knew where we were. It was the coordinates given to us by the robot in the well. The coordinates to Earth. The female Earthling was not going to be happy. Even thinking about her reaction made my stomach moan. I debated searching the ship for an escape pod.
Are you hungry, sir?
No, just confused and worried. I went over the last few hours in my head. Rusty, why didn't we travel to the Arrakis system?
Your command was to stay on course, sir.
I clutched my stomach, sure that I would be sick. Hot waves of fear swept over me. I didn't know what to do. Then, a rustling from down the hall. The female Earthling was awake. I smacked my face and headed down the hall.
Sounds like we stopped. Did we reach Arrakis?
Not yet.
Then why are we stopped?
Well, it seems... Rusty wobbled toward us, his eyes faded back to a dull yellow.
Rusty, what's our present location?
Our present location is 5T14Y32.3R 81205.7, nearest the Ilmos asteroid cluster.
Her eyes crunched tight.
You disobeyed my orders.
No, it wasn't me. The ship jolted forward, knocking us all to the ground.
What the hell was that?
Another sharp tug flung us backward. Something was dragging the ship. The female Earthling hobbled toward the cockpit and grabbed hold of the controls, but it was useless. It seemed fate would drag the reluctant.
Dean, search for whatever it is that's tugging us.
I aimed the pen at the wall. All seemed normal, except for a section of space that appeared to ripple. At first, I assumed it was my eyes or the device malfunctioning, but I was wrong on both counts. What's that? The ship jolted forward. The ripples filled the cockpit. The walls danced. Our movements became scattered, like reality with pieces cut out. Even my thoughts were scattered. I turned toward Rusty, who appeared to be frozen in time. I spoke, but it seemed to take an eternity to get from my brain to my mouth. I feel weird. The ripples rolled through the cockpit, faster and faster, until they melted into one solid movement. I felt splattered and rolled out. Then suddenly, normal. Time found its comfortable speed once more. Moments rolled by in silence, until the female Earthling tapped on the dashboard.
The ship shows no coordinates. It has no idea where we are.
I searched with the pen for any familiar signs, lots of stars on a dark canvas, until I aimed the pen at the floor.
There. A planet.
She raced the ship toward the far-off planet. As we grew closer, I could see swirling clouds of brown, orange, and red as they raced across the surface. I knew what this place was. I had seen this planet before, but never in real life. It was the god of the sky. It's Jupiter! The female Earthling's eyes tightened.
You better hope we weren't followed.
There is a 0.0000000000002% chance we were tracked, Master.
Still not low enough odds.
In the distance, the sun grew larger. I trembled with anticipation. We were so close. It had to be out there among the distant stars. Then, like a lingering dream, tucked behind its own moon, the blue marble came into view. The sun's rays pierced through its thin atmosphere. It was more beautiful than any dream, any transmission, any well-told story. It was Earth. The female Earthling circled the blue globe, then steered the ship toward the dark side of the planet. I couldn't wait to see the bright lights of all the Earth cities. Madrid, New York, Paris, Tokyo, Cairo. All were burnt into my mind from years of transmissions. But to my dismay, all was dark. I thought at first that we must be over the great Pacific Ocean, but we were not. We were over land. Asia. I was sure of it. Where are all the lights? The cities? The female Earthling did not answer, as the ship tore deeper into Earth's atmosphere. Scattered thunderstorms brought quick bursts of light to the dark blue orb, but nothing more. Please tell me what happened.
A comet. Halley's Comet.
But how?
A terrible mistake.
As our ship pushed deeper through the atmosphere, cities appeared. Destroyed cities. Everything was scorched. Entire cities in ruin. No plants, no animals. Everything was covered in thick black ash and even snow. A horrible twist of fate. We flew across the Pacific Ocean toward North America. A great desert appeared. A desert so vast it seemed to go on forever. That was where the female Earthling chose to land. I barely remember touching down. My brain raced with sadness, fear, and lingering excitement. I had an urge to cry.
You still have the journals?
I opened my shirt and revealed both journals still strapped to my chest.
Good. We're heading outside.
Are we in America?
Arizona.
We headed down the hall and into the cell holding August's body. She looked down at August and smirked.
I wish I could wipe that stupid grin off his face.
She directed me to August's feet. I locked both arms around his ankles, and, with a confirming nod, we slowly made our way down the hall, with August's limp body between us. Rusty watched as we passed by the cockpit.
Rusty, report to me if anyone approaches the ship.
Yes, Master.
As we waddled slowly toward the ship's hatch, it hit me that I would soon be standing on the surface of Earth, though the circumstances were quite different than I had ever imagined. Is there anything to fear?
I'm sure of it.